Hello, it's just me this time. Thank you for visiting my site. Thank you for joining me in our podcast. Me and Mia Glyn Jones, we have worked really hard to show you a real development in ourselves through this experience. We did a little monologue of my acting. She did a little political speech, and it's really been an eye-opening experience for me. All round, I have learnt so much about myself. I've learnt to be myself, I'd say. All this stuff about asking me to, what do I really want in life? What's the real purpose of acting, which I haven't really covered, which I'd like to cover in lesser videos. I found myself becoming very existential in this craft. I found myself being very scared to fail in this industry, I guess. And I'm really hoping as you watch all these videos that you get a real sense of how me as a person is, how throughout this process I've made decisions and how I've developed as a cast. I think I kept bringing it back to the cast when I was working with Mia. I kept bringing it back to how there's the individual, I think I've said, the individual, a company, and how I deal with problems. And how far is a personality? How far is you, I guess? And how much of you wants to do stuff? Because I don't believe humans do anything they don't want to do. I think that was highlighted in how to be an actor or create a character. Decisions, no one does anything for no reason. For example, I want to thank you for just watching our videos, and I really hope that you've got a real sense of me and how I am and how I take an opinion on the industry. Well, that's sort of my main thing I want to deal with. Like I've worked with some wonderful company. I've come into a company where they've really established, and it's taught me loads of new things. Our directors are amazing. They're completely and utterly devoted to our course, and showing that compassion and reflecting on myself really does show me how much passion you need just to be, I guess, and just sort of taken away from it all. It's been a real emotional roller coaster, I'd say, between relationship with myself, relationship with people, and relationship in this world. Like, we've covered so much on making choices. What choices do we make as people? What choices do we make as a society, and how that society works with people? What choices have I made? What choices have we made? You've made the choice to watch our videos, you've made the choice to do this stuff, and it's all a process. And to be vulnerable, I think, is one thing. To be vulnerable is to let things happen and just let yourself go and all this stuff. And I've learned so much about myself, how much of an individual I like to be, how much of an artist I like to be in myself, how much I take pride in myself, how much I want to do well for myself. I think Mia brought this up in one of our earlier videos about the 5-week process we've been on. When it doesn't affect me, when it doesn't affect someone else, I mean, it doesn't. When it doesn't affect. When it affects me, it doesn't matter. I can take it on the chin and deal with that problem on its own. But when it affects someone else, that's when I really start to shine. And maybe that might be my motivation in the industry. Maybe it's something that I need to look at, because making it a responsibility for someone else, and that might keep my drive. I don't know. I would like to thank my directors for this video. Thank my directors. Thank you, Carly. You've really given me something. And if I decide to not be an actor, or I decide to be a plumber one day, I've learnt so much about myself and how independent I like to be, and how I need answers to certain things that I haven't got yet. The answer of, if no one sees your art, does it matter? If no one sees me, does it matter? If no one has a good opinion of me, how that makes me feel? So, thank you for joining me on this. I really appreciate what I've made here, because from the very start we see a young, still young, you see me. From the very start you see me coming into a cast and being opinionated and being strong in what I'm saying, and being argumentative, and to me finally towards the end releasing that control and just enjoying myself talking to a fellow cast member, I guess. So thank you. I sort of divulged again, sort of. Hope you got my personality here. Thank you and farewell.